Come on. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, TP lost
like,
it. Yeah.
Right. Where he's wondering, like, I
Patty to patty.
He won style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro. Like,
Yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
Or bringing Craig Counsell down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Bodkins Show. I am your host, Bodkins. Oh, man, it has been a great week so far. Please, if you haven't already, please check out Head Kicks and Haymakers and also the morning that we're putting out every Sunday morning. Me, guy Johnny Cruz. As you know, every once in a while, folks, I love having a guest and just chopping it up about God knows what, life, sports. Tonight, I might consider this guy one of the biggest guests I've ever had on this show. A guy who is full of life. He is one of the funniest people alive walking on planet Earth. This man, I'm sure you've seen him. If you have any social media whatsoever, you caught him on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, talking about great, doing movie reviews, talking about such things as sports, women, life, food. Give it up, and he's to a city near you. One of the funniest people walking Earth, Josh Pray, baby. Thank you, Josh. Thank you.
Hey, listen. I've never had an intro like that. I hope I can live up to the tags and labels you just put on me. Hey, I'm excited to be here.
I appreciate it. I always try to give a good intro. I tell people that the best 5 minutes is the best that you're probably going to get out of me, and that's what my wife says too. So, Josh, I got to ask you, you got a big personality. It comes across obviously on, all your reels, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. Have you always been that way? Like growing up as a kid, like just a class clown type?
Yeah. See, perfect name. Thank you for saying that. Class clown. Always been goofy. Always wanted to make people laugh. I'm actually kind of shy in reality, and I think I use the being loud and funny thing as a defense mechanism. But for most of my life, as far as I can remember, I've always been funny. I don't know. Is it arrogant to call yourself funny? Can I say that?
No. I don't think it's arrogant. I think part of you, like if you wrote characteristics of who you are and what people would say about you, would say you're funny.
Yes, I've been funny I've been funny my whole life, I guess. Yeah, I've been a clown, for sure.
Was there a time when you were kind of growing up like, hey, I want to do this for a living? Like at what point did you kind of reach that?
When I was a sophomore in college, a talent show. I went to a private college in Miami, Florida.
Were you gonna say a white people's school? Because that's okay. You can say we don't care.
Nah. I went to a private HBCU in Miami my first 2-3 years in college, and they had a talent show there. And I performed at the talent show. I really wasn't all that, but I performed. And somebody gave me their card. I never pursued it. And then a bunch of years later, I went back in my brain and said, let's try to be funny for money. And it's been working ever since.
Where, like the talent show, is it just, what are you doing, stand or like skits or what were you doing?
I want to say I did more like a monologue about a woman that wouldn't date me. And the crowd laughed and they thought it was funny. And the judge was like, hey, man, you got talent. And it was a dude. He owned a barbecue spot in Miami. I don't know how the hell I took his card, but I took his card called him from my room phone the next day, and he didn't remember who I was. And I was like, okay, he wasn't serious. So I hung up the phone, pursued an education degree. And then when that didn't pan out like I thought it would, I picked up comedy because I've always been funny. And it's been cool ever since.
You were like education, you were going to a teacher?
Yeah, I wanted to be a teacher.
Did you like get in? Did you? What led you down to wanting to be a teacher? Having to deal with little Josh Praise in the classroom?
No, the little Josh Praise are the dopest thing about the educational system. And I do think,
hey, Nick Bodkins was probably not quite as fun as Josh Praise, but I was right there. I feel like.
No, hey, listen, Nick, you might be the wave. You might need a surfboard soon. Nah, the kids are great. My peers are great. Educators are cool. You know what you can do and what you can't do. And I wasn't going to be a good teacher. I just wasn't. And it's not because I'm goofy. It's just to be a good educator or anybody good in education, you gotta put in a lot of effort. It ain't just like going, handing out paperwork, grading assignments. You got to care about everything you're doing. And I just wasn't that person. So I'm glad I didn't pursue it because I probably would have ruined a whole bunch of lives. What
grade were you trying to teach?
High school.
Okay. I think that's a good fit though. Like, you know what I mean? The kids you can joke around with. And
I am telling you, I would have been the teacher that let children cheat and skip class, and I wouldn't have cared. And you don't need those kind of people leading the future of America. For sure.
What subject were you looking at trying to teach?
History.
Okay.
And again, somebody could have told me the first president was Martin Luther King. You are absolutely right because you put a person down there. Like, I'm not the person you want to lead your children, man. And I knew I wanted the person. So, at what point did you realize that you weren't going to be that person? About a year into the educational system.
So, like you had already. Like when you're still in college, or like you had already become like was about to be like got your certificate?
I already had graduated college. I already had my second son, and it just wasn't for me. And I knew it wasn't for me because students would come in and ain't feel like doing work. I wouldn't encourage them or push them enough. You know what? You having a day? Take the day off.
You were already teaching, like you had a job, or it was like
I was assistant teaching, and you know you
got okay, like student. Like students,
yeah, you got to go through an internship and all that. And I was just this is not for me. Like it's just one of those things where you know it's just not for you. So it didn't work.
I've been in them situations. Yeah. Hey, this ain't for me.
It worked out for me, and I'm happy it didn't work. It didn't work out for me, because I was able to turn to comedy. And while I was trying to start comedy, I was also a security guard at a hotel. I thought that would make me enough money to buy a house and have a family and get a car. And making $14 an hour was not the way either. So I had to figure out something else, man. And comedy was it was right there the whole time.
Stand up, like getting into stand up, like how did, like after this talent show, like how did you start getting and developing? And were you like going to clubs, or how was you just like going to open mic nights? How did you start there?
So comedians, traditional comedians hate me because I'm so unorthodox. I am the worst thing that could probably happen to comedy in regards to how to get
teaching, worst thing in comedy.
Yeah, because a lot of people do things by the book, right? They say, if you want to be a comedian, you got to write your jokes, then you got to go to open mics, and then you got to tour for free. Then you got to hope to get put on by somebody. I did none of that. In 2014, in 2013, in December, I told myself I'm going to have a comedy show in January. Dead serious. And I rented out a gymnasium in my hometown, a town of like 19,000 people, small town. And I didn't know how to write a joke. I had never been to an open mic. I had never been to a comedy club. I put together my own show. I hired 2 other comedians that had been doing it for a couple of years. And I had a comedy show. I skipped all the steps. And I was a terrible comedian that night. My first show, I was horrible. But I promoted it so well, and I had such a great turnout that it just encouraged me. So I started stand-up before I even got on the internet. Before I did any videos, I was doing stand-up for like 4 or 5 months. Then I started doing videos on the internet.
Your stand-up, is it like the videos, or is it more like storytelling life? Because I feel like every comedic's got their style. And obviously with your videos, it's like kind of what's happening now in the world, and you're doing movie reviews, which are, incredible, which we'll get to a little bit later.
My online personality, people ask me who do I try to be? I try to be Sinbad of 2024. Black people respect me and deal with me. White people love me. So I'm right there in the middle, and I try to keep my online content PG-13. I lean sometimes with some of the things I say, but I want everybody to be able to enjoy my content freely wherever they're at. But when it comes to stand-up, I'm a little bit more raunchy, and I do more storytelling. When it's online, you hear a lot of jokes just back to back to back to back.
Yeah, you got a shorter time,
yeah.
I guess, in the video too.
With my stand-up, I got like 3 or 4 sets, and my sets are like an hour, 20 minutes, and I probably got 5 jokes. It's 5 different stories that bleed into the next story.
Yeah.
So I do more story, and I do some crowd work because I can. I do it. I like to mess with the crowd, but depending on where I'm at, what type of crowd it is. I just had a show in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it was a group of 21-year-olds, and then the rest of the club was probably, the lowest age was probably 50. So I was able to mess with that young crowd, and the old people laugh at them. Then I was able to mess with the more mature crowd, and the young people get the joke still.
Yeah.
When I'm live, it's more storytelling. It's still the same Josh Prey, my mannerisms, my voice, the pitch of my voice, but live is probably a little bit more fun though.
Yeah, I would think you're feeding off the crowd as well, I'm sure. Does that get you more when the crowd is like, you like a smaller crowd or you like a bigger crowd? Because comics talk like there's something about a small intimate crowd that kind of they enjoy. You can kind of see everybody and get the vibe, or even like where a bigger crowd is kind of harder.
If I had it my way, the biggest crowd I would do is probably 250. If I had it my way, the smallest crowd I would want to do, the smallest crowd I've ever done was 14 people. No lie, 14 people. Yeah. But the smallest crowd I would want to do is probably around 50 people because it's still, the laughs carry. It's more intimate. I never aspired to do arenas and sell out 10,000 seats. That's not my thing. That's not who I am. I don't have an ego for it. And I don't even think my comedy would hit 10,000 people. 300 people is going to hit. 10,000 people going to be walking out the building. I know it.
Josh, you get so many clips and views on YouTube. You get 300,000 clips on a on YouTube or a short or TikTok. Like I think they would hit. I think you would translate.
Yeah, but the thing about the internet is it's a lot of that's algorithm, right? So
yeah, that's true.
Like lately on TikTok, I've been going crazy. I have 2 TikTok pages. One where I do my 5 things to know about my friends and stuff, and then the other I just do like green screen videos and whatnot. And the one where I'm doing green screen videos is going crazy because I'm fitting the algorithm. I'm using the tools the platform has. So I don't really base my funny or my my impact off of views, because you can't. If you use the right format and you title it the right way, it's going to show up on a person's feed. And all you have to do is watch it for 3 seconds and it counts as a view. So I might have a video with 4 million views where only 200,000 people really watch the entire video. So I don't feed into that. But I think to perform in front of crowds that big and to keep engagement, you got to be witty. You got to genuinely be very funny and likable. And I don't know if I'm that likable, but like
you are likable, Josh. I think a lot of people would say you're likable.
I don't know, man. A lot of people hate me, like a lot. because what it is people think my positivity is fake, and it's really not. Like, life is hard. Like right now, life is whooping a lot of people ass right now, and she can fight.
It is.
So I don't want to get on the internet and be negative and complain about not having money and food and blah, 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 blah. So people think what I do is like pandering, or I'm being fake, or I can't be this happy. So I get like a lot of hate, like a lot of it. So that's why I'm always like, people say, Josh, people love you. And I'm like, oh, you don't.
I think, but those people that you, Josh, I would say like they're miserable in their own life. You know what I mean? They're miserable regardless, because they see you being happy. And we just said life's a bitch and it can be tough. So how can this person be happy? Well, it's because he's trying to be happy. He's trying to bring joy to people's life, their own life, and tries to see the upside. They don't see the upside of life. So they bring everybody down with them. And hey, everybody sit in this fucking misery with me. And yes. Fuck you, Josh, for not sitting here with misery and try to bring, sunshine and rainbows to this, shitty ass world at times. So,
like,
you know what I mean? So that's,
I completely 1000% agree with you. I do. So I just started doing these videos. Like, this is brand new. I've been doing it for a couple months now, but I started doing these videos where I compliment men. Right. And the reason I started doing that is because I used to compliment women. I used to do the body positivity thing. Skinny, big, white, black, Asian, Jamaican, whatever you are, I would come. So then I started getting comments like, he's so thirsty. He only talks about women. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna talk about men in a very masculine, heterosexual way. Hey, homie got a nice beard. Shouts out to your beard. I've been doing that, and now I'm being called gay. Like,
people are gonna find that's comedy though. People are gonna find some shit to complain about. I always say this. You could give everybody in the world $1 million, and there's still half of them be like, "Well, I want 2 million motherfucking dollars." Like this ain't.
But my brain don't compute. I can't understand that. Like, you give me $1 million, I'm gonna say, "Hey, give somebody else 500,000. I only need 500."
Yeah,
like, my brain just I don't. And I think I told my manager this. I think it was my manager, and this may come back to bite me. I don't understand how people can see a video and comment on it. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not the person that sees content and say anything, because I don't think I'm important enough to say anything. But for you to see a video that has nothing to do with you and to write something negative, that's special to me.
Yeah. And I am nowhere near the fame or whatever, you know what I mean, that you have, or the following that you have. And I put out, like, I have a few viewers, like I have like 200, my TikToks are like 200 views happy. You know what I mean? Every once in a while.
During this podcast, we're going to help you with that. I'm going to give you the game.
Somebody will put something in there, like I said, because I just cut clips from this podcast and put it on my TikTok or whatever. Sure. And it's just like, well, why would you know what I mean, just fucking dogging. I'm like, thanks. You know what? Thanks. Kill him with the, indifference. Like, so hey, thank you. You took the time and effort to watch me. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to, so thanks. I appreciate it.
No,
you know what I
mean? See, to me, that's not fair to you, because that's you telling yourself, turn the other cheek, you're gonna be okay. Hate it or love it, you still watching me. But to me, that don't make sense. And
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, as creators, we shouldn't have to say, hey, thank you for watching me. No, because you don't have to say nothing negative. Just don't say.
They want, what they want to do is get the response out of you. You know what I mean? They just want you to go back at them.
Every once in a while, I give them what they ask for.
Yeah.
Every blue moon, I'm gonna cut somebody up. I'm gonna chop them down. I'm the white dude in the woods with an axe. I'm a lumberjack. I'm Paul Bunyan. I'm whoever you need me to be. But I try to let it go like you let it go. I try to let it roll off my back.
I'm the older I get, the more I realize I just need to let it go. I think 10 years ago, I'm 5 years ago, I'm going back at them. If it's on the microphone, I would probably go back at them. Like people, when I do a live show, will comment some shit, and I will get on the microphone and say some shit because I'm quick with the tongue, and I feel like with the microphone I can say something better and faster. I don't like the texting, the typing. Like I'm like, fuck, that's just too much.
You gonna type it. You trying to be mean. You don't misspell 5 or 6 words.
Exactly. Like I'm like this. I can't even get the joke or what I'm gonna say across. But if you comment on my live show and say some shit, well, guess what? Like, first of all, I don't even got to put your comment up there. So I don't. But every once in a while, I'll put a comment up there, and then I'll go at you because I got the power of the microphone. I can hold it down.
I have a question. Where are we streaming at right now? Like, is this StreamYard.com?
No, it'll be so we're recording and it'll be posted live on Sunday night on my YouTube page. I'll tag you.
Listen, next time we gotta figure out a way to go live. So
I can.
On my YouTube and my Facebook, so you can get the followers.
We can do that. I usually do live. So now we're pulling back the curtain. I just the way my schedule is set up, I usually post my live. I do live shows on Sunday nights, and so with your schedule, I was like, well, I set a special time for a special guest, and then I wanted to put it out on Sunday, my normal time.
Well, next time we're gonna do this again. We're gonna make sure you go live, so in case like couple people that follow me, they might dig what you're doing, and you can get the following.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'll tag you in the everything as well, Josh. Like, I mean, this has been so far, so I mean, great. I don't know how much time you got. Like 10 more. Like, I don't know. I could probably go all night because you're just an entertaining person. I love interviewing and talking to people back there, Layers. But earlier you said like you hosted your own show. Like I mean, that was something special, Josh. Like you were saying, like, I didn't do my normal thing. Like you don't have to, there's more than one way to get to where you want to go. Like,
no, I was terrible. No, I was terrible.
But you did something in your hometown. Like after that though, did you go back out and like, even though you thought you were terrible, which I'm sure people did think that you were terrible, did you go to open mic nights and start building following before you started putting out the videos?
No, I did not. After that show, I got booked at another show 3 days later. It was a show in Naples, Florida, and I went to the club to host it. And when I brought like 4 people, and the dude charged us $20 a person to get in, so he definitely took it. I've got a dude named Brian something. I'll never forget. It's 2 Brians in this industry. Man, he might be the same Brian. I'll never forgive him. I'll never forgive him, man. Because he charged us. Then I hosted that show. Did terrible again, but I hosted it. And then I had another show somewhere. But I think I did in my entire life. I've done Chicago, Atlanta, Off the Hook Comedy Club. In my entire life, I've done 3 open mics in 10 years.
But you're going to shows though and putting them on. Like they're either booking you and you're doing.
I was getting booked. I mean, for the first. So from 2014 to 2017, I made probably negative $4,000 off comedy. Not
just
even like from the flight
places. Yeah,
flights, hotels, driving. I'll tell you what, from 2015 to 2017, I drove from Naples, Florida to Tampa, Florida, which is like 2 hours 30 minutes, to do open mics every Thursday. And I never got on stage. Ever. I just lied to you. I did 4 open mics because I did
the billing was too long and they couldn't get you in, or what?
You just like they would have certain amount of comics and I would just never get a chance. And then I went to Side Splitters in Tampa and I did Side Splitters open mic. I did like 5 minutes. I thought I did good. It was cool. And then I actually ended up doing Side Splitters in my own night earlier this year, January. I sold out at Side Splitters. The same place I did the open mic at, I sold out. I think that's a dope experience. Dang, man, you're making me reminisce. This is terrible.
Sorry, Josh. Sorry, I didn't want to take it down the bad.
It's all good. It's dope. It's cool.
At what point in time though, like, did you realize like doing the videos was going to lead to success and fame? I think the early ones that I caught was like the country western ones because I'm like I love Tombstone.
Best movie ever.
Yeah, it is.
You ever been to Tombstone?
No.
Oh my gosh, you love Tombstone? You never been?
I've never been to Arizona.
So once a year they celebrate Doc Holliday's birthday in Tombstone, Arizona.
Okay, I'm gonna have to figure when that is and go.
It's a town and it's preserved like the West. They got the real ranches that they fought at, where they had to shoot out at the real Doc Holliday. And they walk through the town. They have a funeral for him. I was able to go and host it 2 years ago. 2 years ago. I was able to go and host that. It was a dope experience. And these people are obsessed with Tombstone. Like, obsessed. What's the one guy? I always forget his name. He got slapped in the mouth.
Oh, Billy Bob Thornton.
No, Billy Bob didn't get slapped.
Yeah. You just gonna stand there and bleed? You're talking at the poker table.
He slapped Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah. Wyatt Earp slapped Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the guy. He was in Terminator Part 1.
And which part? I'm thinking of when Wyatt Earp walks in and
I'm thinking of the wrong scene. Anyways, so he was there. He was signing autographs. It's a real dope. It's a real dope experience. If you are a country western movie lover, you gotta visit Tombstone, Arizona during Doc Holliday's birthday. You will not regret it. I swear to you.
I'm gonna have to book my trip there. I'm gonna have to go there sometime.
Cheap trip. It's not expensive either. It's a cheap trip.
Okay.
But I cut you off. So you said you found me with the country.
I was just saying like that was the first one. I think the early one I caught. Also like you did the Clint Eastwood. Unforgiven.
I did Unforgiven.
Yeah.
I did Young Guns 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying like those, like what point in time, like, did you realize you were going to start doing that stuff and that it leads you to success?
So you caught on late, really late. So 2015, I did a video with my mom called Riding in the Car with Mama. You should go see that.
Okay, we'll do.
That was my first viral video. It did like 3 million views in like 2 days. And from that point, I changed how I did comedy because before, my mom's a pastor. And before doing the video with my mother, I would curse in my videos. And my mama don't know I curse. So when I did it with her, I had to clean up my language. And then I got all these Christian followers. So I couldn't do content the way I was doing it before because my audience had changed.
Okay.
So then I started doing 5 things with white people. And that's what my white fan base, my Caucasian fan base.
I think I remember going to the club.
Going to the gun range, going to the club.
Yeah.
Going to the club with white people was, at that time, my biggest white video. It was like at 14 million views or something.
Yeah.
Then I did a video about the Country Music Award, which ushered in my redneck white friends. Then I did a movie review about Batman versus Superman in 2016. That went viral. And Fandango gave me some money to do some movie reviews for them. That's in 2016 is when I got into movies. Reviewing movies. So it's all a step. And then I started doing the Florida Gator videos. I'm a big Gator fan. That caught on. My homeboy said I look like Mike Tomlin. So I started imitating Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, how that came about. I didn't know if you were like a Steelers fan. I knew you were a Gator fan. Huh?
I'm a Patriot fan.
Are you really?
I'm a New England Patriot. Well, I was, because Tom Brady. I was a New England Patriot fan. But my homeboy was looking at me one day. I was a security guard. And we were in the office. He was like, hey, Josh, you should do a Mike Tomlin impersonation. I'm like, I don't look like Mike Tomlin. He was like, bruh, when your eyes get real big and you get mad, you look just like him. And I studied him for a little while, and I did the impersonation, and it hit. In real life, I think he hates it. He's never reached out. He's never, because you would think those videos have done millions of views.
Yeah.
And you would think a person with my following will eventually run into Mike Tomlin, and he has not reached out. So I think he hates him.
Mike Tomlin's trying to coach football games. You know, didn't somebody ask him that?
Like somebody gonna say, "Hey, you ever seen Josh Prey videos?" But he's never reached out. But yeah, everything happens like at a stepping stone. And when something positive happens to me, I lean into it. I don't leave where I'm celebrated ever. I appreciate who appreciates me, and I want to give people what they want. I never force myself into any situation that I'm not wanted in. So that's how my comedy always comes about. I usually, good things happen to me, like when I lean the right way. So, like, hopefully great things keep happening to me.
Was there ever a time you felt like, man, I'm like that next step's never going to happen? Like when Fandango gave you that like deal for some money to movie reviews, were you just like, hey, this is probably the peak of success right here? Like,
never. So when Fandango did that for me, I was reviewing movies and people loved them, and I would review all kind of movies, whatever. And I was generating money through AdSense and things like that, like online. Then when I got to Fandango, I was excited at the opportunity, but I was like, this ain't for me. Like, I can't be myself. And they offered me a small contract, you know what I'm saying, to review some movies, move to LA for a couple months. And I was like, nah, it ain't worth it. It ain't me. So we got out of that. And that ended. I never looked back. And then I've had like a lot of opportunities. With me, I think the thing is people see other creators or comedians or people and say, why isn't Josh Prey doing that? And that has crept into my mind like, I'm funnier than that person. Why this opportunity ain't for me? But what's for me is for me. I think I've had thoughts where I'm like, okay, I've been doing this for years. The new crowd coming in, people are tired of me. I need to find something else to do with my life. And then something else will pop. And it's like I'm reinvented. On social media, all over social media, I have 4.2 million followers. And people are still just discovering me. So comedy is going to be what I do forever. Sometimes I feel like I peaked. I signed a Barstool 2 years ago. And I thought I had hit the top. Like, I am with Barstool Sports. About 3 months after signing the Barstool, I was like, I got to get out of Barstool because this isn't where I belong. I'm not controversial. I'm not edgy enough. This ain't even my crowd.
What happened? So I kind of peeked into that. I didn't know how if that was like a bad situation. I try to keep everything light.
It wasn't a bad situation. What happened was I generate revenue on my own. So when Barstool came, they saw how much money I made. They gave me a contract that was fair. And Barstool has a fan base that's like, they need content.
Yeah, all the time.
My thing is, you are bringing Nickelodeon to HBO after midnight in the 90s.
Yeah. The frat house.
So some of the fan base knew who I was and understood me. Majority had no idea who I was and could care less about who I was because I didn't have the hot takes that the Barstool culture needed. And I never fit in. I didn't really fit in with anybody at Barstool. Like, you never really saw me on nobody's podcast. I didn't do content with nobody.
I didn't know you even were Barstool until like I just was kind of trying to find some more information about you, you know. And it was on a Reddit thing, like how you weren't on at Barstool anymore. I was like, I didn't even know he was at Barstool.
So when I went on the Barstool, like this was my first reality check into how evil the internet is. It was a show called, I forgot what the show was called. But it was a cast, and I went on to the show to introduce myself, but I went as comedian Josh Prey. So I'm making fun of the host. I didn't know the host is like Barstool royalty. Super nice guy. Like, nice as hell. But his fan base don't play about him. So I was jokingly disrespectful to him. He was a battle rapper. And I said, I'll beat you in a battle rap, whatever. Dog, when we got off the internet, he came to me. He was like, Josh, I want you to know I have nothing against you, and the fans are a little wild. I laughed at him like, what you talking about? It's all good. Man, I went to my hotel, because I was in New York that night. I had to go to the Barstool office. I went to my hotel that night, and like my Twitter started going crazy. And I'm like, damn, I only got like 30,000 followers on Twitter. People were cussing me out, cussing my kids out, calling my mom racist stuff, saying I should have died, Barstool should fire me.
Damn.
I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not built for that type of negativity. You know what I'm saying? I didn't generate that negativity, so I wasn't ready for it. I thought they knew I was playing. But the Barstool situation, honestly, I could have made it work if I was given like my own
platform
of Barstool.
Yeah.
But I just didn't fit in to their crowd. And then Dave bought the company back, and he had to respectfully let some of the higher paid creators go. And he didn't say, Josh, you're not doing a good job, because I did 45 videos a month for Barstool for a year and a half. So he never said I wasn't working, I didn't do a good job. He was just like, we got to cut costs. You're not local, you're in Florida, so we got to let you go. He was super professional. He was super direct about it. And the situation, I just never fit in that. I never fit in that situation. So
yeah, it happens. You go to a company like this ain't a good fit. Like we just not a good fit.
I knew it, and I was stressed every day. I was like, Barstool was one of the biggest blessings in my life financially, but mentally, it was one of the worst decisions I ever made, because I couldn't keep up with what Barstool needed me or how they needed me to be. So I was for like 16 months, I was miserable. Like miserable.
Damn.
They invited me to every event. I went to the office in New York twice. In 16 months, I went twice. So they would invite me to the events. They'd ask me to do things if I wanted to do things. I never went. I never went to any company parties, company events. I didn't hang out with nobody. It wasn't a fit for me. And it wasn't a lot of black people at Barstool either.
Still not.
Yeah, so and this is the thing. A lot of people think Barstool is like this super white company. I don't think it's that. I think Dave Portnoy wants to make that money, and he don't care what race you are, what color you are.
It's all green. It's all green.
Yeah, but from a cultural standpoint, the company just wasn't that diverse, and it's Dave Portnoy's company. So he's hiring what generates money the fastest, and if the person that generates money looks like him, he brings them in. But I definitely respect Dave Portnoy and appreciate him for giving me the opportunity with Barstool. But you definitely need a introduction video like working at Barstool. Here's what to expect. Like, for real.
Well, if Dave Portnoy ever calls me, Josh, I'm gonna call you first and be like, "Hey, Josh, I'm gonna
tell you, go get that money. Go get that money. Say what you got to say out your mouth. Get that bag and make a name for yourself, man.
Hey, I'll try it. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Josh. I tell people all the time, like you mentioned, like the haters and things like that. I don't know. When I was a kid, I was like, my personality is not for everybody. Like I'm a very outspoken person. Yeah. I am a little, like I said, I was a little bit of a class clown too, but I just knew, like, even in my jobs, like, I'm not for everybody, and I'm okay with not being for everybody, but the people I'm for, they ride with me, and I'm okay with that. Like, as long as, and this podcast, I always tell people every guest, like, I don't ever look at really views or things like that. Like, it's because, like, all I care about is, am I having a good time doing this? Is my guest having a good time doing this? That's all that matters to me. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. I said, eventually, you mentioned like you felt like you were better than some people. I feel like that at times too. I watch other people's podcasts. I'm like, man, I know I'm fucking better than this person. I know it, but I just ain't got, like, for whatever reason, I'm like, my time will come, or I just got to stay grinding, stay deep.
I can tell you straight up what you're doing wrong. I can 100% tell you.
Go ahead.
It's not your content. You are a great interviewer. You let people talk. You definitely let people talk. And you're not asking probing questions. You're asking questions that people probably really want to delve into. You're not. If I went and audited your social media, I'd probably notice you're not posting in the formats these platforms want you to post. You're probably not dropping reels and shorts like you're supposed to. You're probably leaving too many logos on your videos.
Now, this is it. This is all I got.
No, but okay. So you see how it says the Bodkins Show above my head?
Yeah.
Some platforms don't want any logos.
That's wild.
But it's the game.
Yeah.
When I was with Barstool, one thing they used to tell me, they used to say, Josh, you got to do these videos, but you got to use green screen mode. And I would be in complete denial. Like, I'm not doing it. That shit whack. That's not who I am. The moment I left Barstool, and I started using green screen videos, my TikTok went stupid.
Yeah.
Like stupid. Right? And sometimes you just gotta play the game to change the game. It has nothing to do with your content. It has everything to do with how you posting, when you posting, who you posting to.
Yeah. I've been told that before. Like I've had, not saying like I just like I don't know. You get fake ass people, DMing me and be like, and I'm always like, have you ever watched my shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, no. I said, don't fucking tell me then. Like, you're going to help me. Why would you help somebody that you don't even know if I'm any good or not? You know what I mean? Like,
hey, and they got to be honest. Like, I don't watch, like when people say, you know this comedian, I don't know this comedian because I don't follow comedians. I don't watch comedians because I don't want to sound like another comedian. Yeah.
Or try to steal their joke. You know what I mean? And you may not do
it.
You may not do it like intentionally, but like something might remind you of a joke that they, and you know what I mean? Then you're like, oh, I'm going to say this way. You know what I mean? Sometimes I watch stand up and I'm like, shit, man, that reminds me of this. And like, fuck, now I'm almost stealing.
And now you sounding like that. Nah,
yeah.
I don't. So when people like, one of the fakest things I think in life is when people will say, hey man, I'm so happy for Bodkins. Like I'm happy for him. Me, I'd be like, now that I know you, I'd be happy for you. But if I didn't know you, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be happy for you or hurt for you. I don't know you.
Yeah.
I just want you to be okay. But whatever you got going on, I don't know you to care. And I think when people just, hey, I want to help you out. You don't even know me. Like, know me, then help me. Because I need to know where this help is coming from spiritually. You know what I'm saying? I want to know, is this help good? Are you hoping I fail? Are you hoping I succeed? Why do you hope I fail? Why do you hope I succeed? Yeah. So don't shun all advice. Look into stuff. But I've done probably 20 podcasts, right? And this was probably the easiest going podcast interview I've ever done. And I've done some cool ones. But this is super relaxed and this has been super chill. So I see nothing wrong with how you doing your thing. You just got to fit the format.
I appreciate it, man. That means a lot coming from you, man. Sure. That means a lot. I don't want to take up too much time, but I got to ask one more question because I am mainly like a sports variety show for the most part, and you're a huge Gators fan. What's your expectations of the Gators as we're getting ready to kick off week 0 this week?
Listen, man, it's championship a bust for us. Go Gators. Go Gators, everything. I'm tired of these people acting like we ain't going to be in the college football playoffs. Y'all acting like we Rutgers or we Vanderbilt, you know what I'm saying? Or we Texas A&M or somebody. No, damn it. We don't want to go 7-4. We don't want to go 9-3. We want to go 11-1, 12-0, then go to the CFP. We the Gators. We expect to lose to nobody, beat everybody, and whip ass everywhere we go. It's Gator or nothing. Who do you like?
I'm an Iowa Hawkeye / Mizzou fan.
You're a what? Come on, man. You wake up every single year and hope to win like 9 games. And that's
I was pretty good, man. We just can't score touchdowns, Josh.
Listen. Our coaches get fired for winning 9 games.
We win 10 games. Kurt Ferentz wins 10 games almost every year.
Nobody outside of Iowa knows who Kurt Ferentz is. Nobody. Hold on. So you're yellow and black, right?
Yellow and gold, yellow and black. Yellow and gold. Well, I didn't say. Hey, I like it.
It's terrible. It's Basuda.
I'm from Missouri, and I was born in Iowa, so all my family's from Iowa, and I was raised here in Missouri. So I kind of
Hey, I like Iowa. Shouts out to Davenport, Iowa. That's the crib. I love Davenport, Iowa. I rocks with it. But as far as an Iowa Hawkeye, nobody gives a damn about no Hawkeye.
And they cared about us in girls college basketball for the last 2 years, Josh.
Did you hear what you just said? From playing to sports fame, it's college women's basketball
For the last 2 years at least.
Did y'all win it?
I mean, I think you know that answer.
Did y'all win it?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. If you ain't first, you last. Nobody cares about who comes in second place. Come on, man. You either gonna win it, you either gonna be a champion, you're gonna be LSU, or you're gonna be South Carolina. I understand Caitlin and all her glory, and she's a phenomenal player, but she's a loser because she didn't win it.
Don't say she's a loser. Don't say that.
Don't say that.
She could win in the WNBA.
She's not. They might not even make the playoffs. Have you been watching?
I have been watching. They in the playoffs right now.
They in the playoffs?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they haven't started the playoffs, but if season ended, they'd make the playoffs.
I think Caitlin gonna go down as the Steph Curry of the WNBA.
Oh, for sure.
I think that.
Yeah.
But here's the problem: we giving out participation trophies, and if you're not a winner, you a loser. And outside of her personal accolades, which I think she's one of the best ever in history, she is a loser when it comes to winning championships.
Well, I mean, that's true. I guess she is 0-2. I won't say a loser.
Go ahead and say
Loser's
it.
too hard.
Go ahead and say it. She's a loser. Say it.
And I can't, Josh. I love you, but I can't. I won't.
Nah. Shouts out to Caitlin Clark, though. Phenomenal basketball player. I wish her all the best for real, for real. She just ain't a winner.
You got a favorite Gator?
Percy Harvin. I named my son Percy.
Okay.
My son's name is Percy Joshua Prey after Percy Harvin.
Okay. I thought you was going to say Tebow.
No, hell no. It's Percy Harvin.
Aaron Hernandez.
What's wrong with you? You should have started like this. You ended like this.
Josh, I appreciate you again coming on, man. It's been a blast. I appreciate everything, and I really do appreciate you answering in the DMs, and I know I'm persistent. I think that's what.
Nah, you weren't. Listen, you were professional. You was appropriate. And it's nothing annoying about hustling and chasing that bag.
I appreciate it, man.
If you had to email me or message me 70 times, copy and paste, do it every day.
My wife tells me I just need to send a blatant message every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to people.
Hey, get your hustle on, do your thing. I wish you all the best. I can't wait to come back on here when sports season gets started. We have some sports conversation, and we can share it on bigger platforms to get them numbers up. But you keep hustling, keep grinding, and I'm gonna keep following.
I appreciate it, Josh. Again, everybody, please follow Josh Prey, one of the funniest people in the world. If you didn't laugh at this podcast, I don't know what else to tell you. You ain't got no sense of humor. Josh Prey, tell them where you can find everybody. Find you, Josh.
Everything is Josh Prey. TikTok is Josh Prey 239, but everything else is just Josh Prey. And please check out my live tour dates at joshpraylive.com. I'd appreciate it. The Bodkins Show, thank you for having me. You dope, you awesome, and everything in between.
I appreciate it again. Hey, folks, it's been another great episode of the Bodkins Show. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, subscribe, share. I'll be back later for my guy, Josh Prey. This has been another great episode. I'm going to hit that outro, and we'll catch you later.